Okay. All right, everyone, welcome to practice, Medicine Buddha practice. Thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome to everyone who is new to us with us. Um, Please say hello if you're new as well. That would be wonderful to hear. And welcome back to those of you who've been coming. Please, as you see with the Google Doc, go ahead and post your prayer requests there. Um, all right. Oh, and also, again, if you're interested in helping to do some practice leading for Medicine Buddha while I'm away, or when I can't do it, particularly in September, or be a part of a rotation of people, please go ahead and email Eric um, at boomiesmarsha.org. If you can do that, that'll be really wonderful. Um, and we're going to have a practice session in a bit, in a couple of weeks as well. All right. It's good to see everyone coming in. Um, Questions again, go into the ask a question kind of space at the bottom of the screen there. I'm going to try to get to those again at the end of our session as well. So, yeah, as you're coming into the space, just allow yourself to arrive um, in the space. Everyone's had all kinds of different days and just kind of starting to let go a little bit as well. And so this space is about healing, right? This is the work of the Medicine Buddha Sutra um, and Tantra. So Sutra meaning that this is considered part of the original teachings of the Buddha. And of course, it's a tantric practice as well, meaning that this teaching arises, we speculate, at the end of the Buddha's teaching, life, and career. But Tantra also means that it's something that's come about through the practice and scholarship of later practitioners who maybe came after the Buddha as well. So this Tantra, again, of healing, right? It's about, the root of this is about allowing things to be as they are, no matter what they are, right? Because the first step of healing is acceptance that this is what's happening, right? This is going on. Of course, this is one of my favorite practices as well, just allowing, right? And of course, this is the first stage of mindfulness, or shamatha, or shane. This is also the first stage of Mahamudra, right? Allowance, letting. Often I say holding space, right? Holding space meaning developing awareness, allowing awareness to be there that holds everything, but not reacting to everything. What helps me to do that these days is frankincense. Actually, I'm burning frankincense because I'm doing, um, incense medicine, a whole nother realm of medicine, but I'm working with a lot of heart chakra energy and work. I have been working with the heart chakra for a couple of weeks, and so incense or frankincense is really good for that. Um, and still working with crystal ball or clear um, quartz, which I haven't worked with in a while. I mean, I worked with it last week for our practice, but it's not this particular piece isn't something that I carry often. So it's nice to be with it. It's the course for me is opening, expanding, fluidity, movement, clarity. Right. And so again, if you're just coming into the space, making sure you add prayer requests if you have those to the Google Doc. And we're just kind of settling, arriving into the space. I hope you're, just in a position that just feels really restorative. I hope you're just not necessarily sitting upright at the computer. I hope maybe you're lying down or doing whatever feels appropriate for you right now. Taking care of yourself, asking your body, what it needs right now. And then offering your body what it needs. And we all can use rest, regardless of who you are. We all can use some rest. So offer your body some rest. So I've been thinking a lot this week about what all the things that we do to run away from pain, to run away from the discomfort of the moment, right? And sometimes that's habitual running away, which is reactivity. It's like we don't know that we're doing it, or we don't have agency in what we're doing. I've just kind of been looking at, just things in the media, and so forth, and about how much of our suffering arises, or continues and perpetuates because we run away, from these root experiences of discomfort. Right? And what kinds of realities we give rise to as well when we keep running away from the pain, when we keep over consuming as well. So much of the root of healing, again, is about coming home to what's happening in the moment. One of the, I would say, the hang-ups around mindfulness is, people asking, why do we want to show up to the present moment? Right? Why do we want to feel that? Why do we want to know that? Right? In a tantric sense, you can't get free without actually being in the present, allowing everything to arrive in this moment. You can't get free in the future, you can't get free in the past, you can't get free distracted, you get free showing up, just to everything that's arising for you in the moment. Because in the moment, everything comes together. Everything is as it is, right? Everything. We can't get free fragmented. Everything has to be brought together. Right? I think that's also the work of love and acceptance. It's like everything is brought together. We accept everything as it is. Everything comes into focus and view. And then the nature of things can start revealing itself. Right? The nature of things reveals itself through wholeness, not through fragmentation. And for me to relate to things as whole, I have to show up to the moment and allow things to come together in this moment, right? To not be distracted by my emotions or my thinking, to hold space for everything, to allow everything to have its place. And I don't have to react, and this is why we can show up to the moment. We just don't have to keep reacting to everything. We can allow everything to be. So, in this kind of, I don't know, pre practice, space, let's just, regardless of where we're at and how we're doing, let's just start with seeing if we can just allow our bodies to arrive, allowing ourselves to be in the positions that feel appropriate for us for our practice. We're trying to see if we can just open to the experience of rest. Maybe you want to call this is rest. And you may have to offer yourself permission as well. So your permission to come into a place of ease. But give yourself permission to do this. I offer myself permission to be at ease, to come into a place of ease, which means that I am beginning to hold space for both the pleasure and the displeasure, or the comfort or the discomfort. Noticing both. And of course, depending on where we're at in our practice, we're developing sensitivity to what we have the capacity to do. We can't just be with everything, right? Because, some of us are working with complex traumas and just, they have to be complex. It can be simple traumas, right? But nature of trauma means that we have to be careful, right? Because trauma, like the core of trauma for me is about the loss of agency. Like I don't have agency. And of course, in a tantric perspective, we begin to relate to trauma by first offering trauma space, which is to say that we allow the cycle of trauma to continue. We give it space to do that, not by not reacting. Giving trauma space. If if we don't want to go there, then don't go there today, tonight. Right? Maybe we turn our attention to something that feels grounding or neutral. Or maybe we turn our attention to sound, right, in the space around us. And so before we continue, actually, I would like to offer our opening mantra, as well as I think that I would like to, well, I know that just beginning to call in the consciousness of Medicine Buddha will actually help guide the deepening of the practice. So, Minla Sangye Kino Soha. And maybe our mantra page has been shared as well for those of you who are new and maybe wanting some explanation about the mantras that we use. So I'm sure that will be posted. Anyway, Om Mala Sangye, Om Minla Sangye Kino Soha means Medicine Buddha. Right? Please know me, think of me, be here. And this is the space that I want this kind of supplication of Medicine Buddha to happen, just coming to ease, holding space. Because it's only from space, like the birth of the deity, particularly the wisdom deity, right, arises from space. Right, if, for those of you who practice the mother practice, divine mother practice with me, you know that the mother is an expression of space, right? Because without space, nothing could exist, right? So space is the condition from which everything arises. Or space and emptiness for me is so intertwined as well. So when we begin to chant Medicine Buddha, we're also in a way, right, chanting to the Divine Mother. Right? The Medicine Buddha being also an expression of the Divine Father, right? The sacred binary that expresses from the essence of everything. You can call the essence God, we can call it, Buddha nature, but the essence of everything, which is the experience of space and emptiness and energy, fundamental energy, just rising together spontaneously. That's the essence of everything, and this is what we're trying to return to. We're trying to return to this consciously, knowingly. Right? And this is the point of Buddhist meditation, particularly tantric meditation, is to return through awareness, right, back to the nature, the essence of things. So as we chant this opening mantra to Medicine Buddha, this is an invitation not only for Medicine Buddha's consciousness, which is the consciousness of the essence, to arise, but it's also an invitation that invites us deeper into the essence. So we'll chant it a few times. But right, but as we chant it again, opening, what does opening mean for you? What does arriving mean? And what does trust mean? As we deeper into the practice through the mantra. Let's begin. Again, we're going to begin with chanting Om, and then go into the mantra, okay? So we'll begin. Om La Sangye Kino So Sange Kino Soha. La Sange Kino Soha. La Sange Kino Soha. So what has arisen for you? What's open? If you notice anything, what's happened? What's changed? And so again, we've chanted a prayer, essentially asking the medicine Buddha to awaken, which is same as saying we've asked the universe to awaken. We've asked the love, the kindness, the warmth of existence to awaken in this moment. Om Minla Sangye Kino. So, and you can chant this to yourself as well, as a mantra, as an actual mantra that we would traditionally count. So just say Om Minla Sangye Kino Soha, 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 Om Minla Sangye Kino Soha. Om Minla Sangye Kino. And you can even just chant the name of Medicine Buddha, right? Om Minla Sangye, Om Minla Sangye, Minla Sangye. Om Minla Sangye, Om Minla Sangye, Om Minla Sangye. It still carries the same energy. Om Minla Sangye, Om Minla Sangye, Om Medicine Buddha. Om Minla Sangye, Minla Sangye, Minla Sangye, Om Minla Sangye. Om Minla Sangye, Minla Sangye, Om Minla Sangye, Om Minla Sangye. And in this energetic space, I also invite you to begin to call in your benefactors, right? So you can go through the 7 homecomings practice, or if you're new, just imagine that every being who loves you begins to just show up in this space energetically. Right? Like the energy of all the beings who love us, from people to deities and spirits and saints and ancestors, to the consciousness, the energy of the earth, of the elements. To our teachers, asking our teachers, our guides, our mentors, our elders to be present with us. And for me, it just feels like it's not that I'm visualizing, in my mind or in my space, like these beings, these people, it's more like a feeling. It's a feeling of warmth, a feeling of a fullness. It's a feeling of a fullness. And I don't feel a void, but I feel a richness, a fullness, a warmth. You know, you can call this love or care. I feel the energy of light. And of course, beginning to imagine that these benefactors really begin to radiate the energy of care into the space around you. And it's okay if you don't feel anything or sense anything, but just, believing that this is happening, even though we may not be able to feel it, is enough. You can also begin to imagine in the heart center the Medicine Buddha awakening. And what does that mean for you to say that Medicine Buddha is awakening within the heart center? What do you begin to imagine? And what's the energetic experience? You can imagine the actual image of Medicine Buddha arising in the heart center, particularly in the heart chakra. Just the feeling of Medicine Buddha. And also, we're working with how Medicine Buddha can emanate in different forms. So sometimes when we think about Medicine Buddha, it's not the traditional iconography of Medicine Buddha. It's this Buddha, this blue Buddha sitting on a lotus seat. It's the expression, as I often say, the archetypal healer, the symbol, the image that's most important for us in terms of our healing. And this is how Medicine Buddha's retinue manifests in the world. And again, just taking time to sit, to experience this very subtle expression of Medicine Buddha's awakened consciousness. And again, you can continue to chant the opening mantra, Om Minla Sangye Kino Soha. Om Minla Sangye Kino Soha. Om Minla Sangye Kino Soha. Om Minla Sangye. Om Minla Sangye. Om Minla Sangye Kino Soha. Om Minla Sangye kino so. And if you're saying the mantra Om Mani Padme Kino Soha, when you say Soha, so Om Mani Padme Kino So, So in the Ha, I invite you just to imagine releasing like any tension, stress, heaviness in the heart center out with the Ha. So Om Mani Padme Kino So, it's a really open H sound. Om Mani Padme Kino So, and release. Om Mani Padme Kino So. Om Mani Padme Kino So. And extend the H, that last releasing sound, right? Om Mani Padme Kino So. Om Mani Padme Kino So. Om Mani Padme Kino So. And it's almost, that last syllable is almost like a, I don't know what it would be, like an opening, expansion. But again, this is what practice is. We're experimenting, exploring. You're collecting data. What's happening? What's going on? How do I feel? Where am I going to? Just paying attention. So again, we're filling the space with the energy of care from our benefactors. We're allowing the body to be at ease, opening, holding space, connecting to the energy of Medicine Buddha. We're allowing Medicine Buddha to arise as is appropriate in our heart centers. Om Mani Sangye Kino So. Om Mani Sangye Kino So. Dropping into the space It opens from the ha. Sorry, I may have tricked you into doing pranayama tonight. Sorry. Lasangeki no so. And on the ha, if you're working with the mantra, on the ha, really like that expansion can also feel like the expansion of medicine Buddha in the heart center as well. Of course, when you're ready, the care that your benefactors are radiating into the space, you can go ahead and start imagining that you're absorbing this energy from everywhere. So, like from the tips of your toes, the top of your head, whatever, this energy of care is being absorbed in the body to every opening, to every pore. So many of us are holding a lot of anxiety right now, right? And anxiety, the energy of anxiety can be held anywhere in the body. I often feel it mostly, often in my heart center, because that's where I'm trying to care about things often. And so you feel that anxiety, and actually I invite you just to allow your mind to wander into some of the things that you're working with, carrying, dealing with, worried about, which we all have plenty to worry about right now. And notice where that anxiety, if you're able to work with different sensations tonight. So I want you to be able to make a choice about what you're doing and where you're going. If you can't go into this, please don't do so. But you want to explore noticing where the energy of anxiety or worry or fear is really showing up for you in the body, and using the mantra, regular as we're going to go into our main mantra soon, but using this opening mantra to maybe release that anxiety on the ha, right? So noticing where anxiety is, moving to the mantra Om Namah Sangye Kino So, because it's actually using this as a prayer to medicine Buddha to release, to let go. So this is the context that we move into now. Om Namah Sangye Kino So. Om Namah Sangye Kino So. The ha is also a surrender. Om Menma Sangye Kino So. It's a little longer here. Om Menma Sangye Kino So. Again, Om Menma Sangye Kino So. So we're going to move into our main mantra now. And maybe we can do it just kind of in a gentle way. Let's see what we can do. So, Teatao. Bacon say maha, bacon say asa sumo, gate so no. Tear down bacon say maha, bacon say asa sumo, gate so. So om menla om teata om bacon say maha, bacon say rasa sumo gate so. Starting with om again. Sungate 대하다온 백은세 백은세 마백은세 라서 수무가티수아 대하다온 백은세 백은세 마백은세 라서 수무가티수아 대하다온 백은세 백은세 마백은세 라서 수문각대소아 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 대하다온 백은세 sumungate soha te hata om beyenze ma beyenze asa sumungate soha. Turn our attention to prayer requests. As always, we, especially again, call into the space, like we're again calling the attention, and saying, hey, we have these prayers. Right? So calling again the attention of all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Dharma protectors, all benevolent spirits, ancestors, saints, deities, the energy and the consciousness of all the elements, including the earth. We call the attention of all the land protectors and guardians. And all beings. Any beings that we have no idea exist. We're trying to help us and free us. We call you into this space to hear our prayers and to work on our behalf to bring about the fruition of what we are praying for. We offer prayers for my need to recover, for my neuropathy to improve and not worsen. Prayers to stop comparing and despairing, but to know how incredibly fortunate I am, to feel loved and to be loving and open. Offering prayers for Nasir, Rachel, and the children. Offering prayers for the Falcon Collective and the land and Humboldt neighborhood. Offering prayers to release fear and step into fierceness. Prayers for my recovery as I move forward in my relationships and on my path. Prayers for my father who has COVID and something else. Offering prayers for my friend's mother, Marcia, as she navigates Alzheimer's and cancer. For her family. Offering prayers for Fiona, who has had COVID for several days now and is struggling with patience. May she listen to her body and heal soon. Prayers for CTA as they navigate work stress and deal with grief over loss of a romantic partner. Prayers for Adantha Rao, who is having eye surgery tomorrow at 1 p.m. Prayers for SH as she cares for her elderly and ill parents. Prayers for Kalilia Maka having surgery this coming Thursday. Prayers for our homecoming circles. Prayers for Marie and Malda, Gina, Lubinka, and all mothers. Prayers for Curry on her healing journey. Prayers for myself that I may continue to be brave enough to trust in my homecoming circle, that they are actually there, that they are actually really helping me care for myself and others I care for. Prayers for my first family vacation since COVID, that we can be supported and rejuvenated and safe. Prayers for my very introverted, sweet neurodivergent daughter, that she may find her people in life, that friendships calm her way and bring her support and joy. Prayers for my homecoming circle and the homecoming circles of all those here. Prayers for those of us experiencing exhaustion and despair. Prayers for my grandfather who has congestive heart failure and might transition to become an ancestor soon. Prayers for Chris, for strength in his wellness journey and physical comfort for his pain. Prayers for Laura and John and family as they navigate cancer treatment. Prayers for Dee in the search for mentors as she further develops her many gifts. Prayers for all as we learn to hold space in all dimensions in this time of apocalypse and change. Prayers for myself as I struggle with difficult emotions, exhaustion, and overwhelm. Prayers for Lama Rod, prayers for all of us in the Sangha, prayers for the safety and well-being of my friend S and her family as they make a cross-country move. Prayers for survivors of Indigenous genocide in northern Turtle Island, Canada, and for the children found and yet to be found in unmarked graves. Prayers for all who have been touched by genocide the world over, for the survivors, voices and healing, prayers for Senor Manuel and Senora Maria, and who are now in the Bardo, and their son Alberto is here. Prayers for Bumima, prayers for Lama Rod, and all those involved in Bumi Sparsha, and those who uphold the three gems. Prayers for myself to finish school so that I may contribute to healing as an artist and therapist. Prayers for my family, especially my parents, survivors of many things, and for myself, the dream of all of my ancestors, releasing what is not mine, claiming and reclaiming what is meant for me. Prayers for my 88-year-old mother who is dealing with COVID, and for all those dealing with recovery from illness. Prayers for my son struggling to live in this world with his bipolarity. Prayers for myself, my wife, our families, our clients, the ancestors, and all sentient beings. Prayers for my family going through difficult times and struggling to grow spiritually to meet the challenges that they're facing. Gratitude that my grown children, whom I offer prayers for in this circle, have all recovered. And prayers for my father. I pray for you, all those in this practice tonight, that you may experience the deepest well-being, happiness, and joy, that you have everything that you need to continue the work of caring for yourself, caring for others, and especially to have everything that you need to continue this work of liberation on behalf of all beings. I lift up and acknowledge all unspoken prayers, all prayers that are just hovering in our hearts but defy articulation. I pray for this world system and apocalypse to come back to balance as quickly as possible, to awaken a new way of being, which maybe is simply a return to a very ancient way of being. May we be well and protected. May we remember who we are. May each being, especially those beings who are not with us, may they have everything that they need in order to experience freedom. And for those who are not ready to be free, may they one day quickly be ready. May we all achieve enlightenment as quickly as possible. And so, holding the energy of these prayer requests, and just imagining that we're just offering the energy of these prayer requests out into the space around us, into the energetic care of all those we've summoned to hold our prayers. Release, let go. All the worry, all the anxiety, we let go of. We come back to the essence, to the holding, to the care of our homecoming circles, and to the care of Medicine Buddha. come back to the care that this one moment is trying to offer us. We begin again. 오대야 다운대근세 배근세 마배근세 라즈수문가 데소아 대야 다운대근세 배근세 마배근세 라즈수문가 데소아 대야다운 백은세 백은세 마백은세 라자 수무 약대소아 대야다운 백은세 백은세 마백은세 라자 수무 약대소아 대야다운 백은세 백은세 마백은세 라자수문가대소아 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 대야다운 백은세 백은세 gate soa. Te ahata, begenze, begenze, ma begenze, laza sumun gate soa. Te ahata, begenze, begenze, ma begenze, laza sumun gate soa. Te ata begenze, begenze, ma begenze, raza sumunga te soa. Te ata begenze, begenze, ma begenze, raza sumunga te soa. And just now returning back to our opening mantra, Om Namah Kino Soha, and then during the release on the ha again. Right? Om Namah Kino So. Om Namah Kino So. Om Namah Kino So. Now we'll transition into our practice, our mantra of Durga, the Great Mother. And again, with the practice of this expression of the Mother, is both a practice of healing, but also a practice of protection. And so as we chant Durga, we're just imagining the energy of protection surrounding us, surrounding those that we love and care about, our communities. We're extending her blessings into the experiences of others around us. And allowing ourselves to feel protected is the root of this practice, to allow ourselves to feel protected. And to feel as if our homecoming circles are being strengthened as well. So let this energy, this fierce energy, Mother Durga, really open into your practice. Okay? And again, also imagine just like a warm blue light radiating from the heart center that becomes that radiates into like a kind of protection, a force field around you is also something that you can do as well. Again, starting with Om. Om. So shift your attention to the seat. Just noticing the weight of your body making contact with the seat. Just allowing everything to come into the moment and just seeing, just noticing what's shifted, what's changed. If your body's different, if your mind is different, right? If you're different now than you were before you started the session, just noticing. And you can keep your homecoming circle with you, or you can allow them to return back to where they came from, or you can dissolve, your homecoming circle of the benefactors around you and absorb their light, their white light into your heart center. Whatever feels appropriate for you in this moment. We're going to turn our attention to our closing Shantideva prayer. And we'll recite this 3 times together. May I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. Just like space, and the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life of all the boundless creatures, and until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach to the ends of space. May I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. Just like space, and the great elements such as earth, may I always support the life of all the boundless creatures, and until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach into the ends of space. And finally, may I be a protector to those without protection, a leader for those who journey, and a boat, a bridge, a passage for those desiring the further shore. May the pain of every living creature be completely cleared away. May I be the doctor and the medicine, and may I be the nurse for all sick beings in the world until everyone is healed. And just like space and all the great elements such as earth, I always support the life of all the boundless creatures, and until they pass away from pain, may I also be the source of life for all the realms of varied beings that reach into the ends of space. just going to quickly turn my attention to the questions. How do we work with craving in the practice? Yeah. We offer, maybe you were practicing this in the practice models, but you offer the energy of craving into the essence of medicine Buddha, I would say. That's one way to do it. You let it go and let medicine Buddha hold the nature of that craving, but also we can explore what it feels like to imagine this energy of craving being an expression of medicine Buddha as well. Of course, you're just seeing what that experience is. Like anything, we're learning to hold the energy by not reacting, so you're just feeling the craving. Craving is craving. Sometimes beneath the craving is, brokenheartedness. Sometimes the craving is an attempt to kind of distract us, take us out of the discomfort of the craving itself. Sometimes, just to complicate it even more, sometimes craving is actually directing us towards something that we need as well. I don't know, it depends on what we're craving and what our history of craving for that thing has been. So I can't really say. So, the next question. So how do we make space for the wounds of ex-loves or ex-chosen family? How do we carry the ambiguous grief every day that you feel like every day that you feel like you're mourning someone but they're still alive? Right? So how do you carry the ambiguous grief every day that you feel like you're mourning someone but they're still alive? Yeah. Your mourning it's not that you're mourning the loss of something. So you're mourning the loss of a particular kind of relationship that you have with someone, right? And this is when we, as I say often, this is when you have to share the energy of grief, right? This is when I call on the earth, I call on my homecoming circles, I call on Medicine Buddha in this case, right? I share this grief, I open this grief up, right? And you're mourning what used to be. And you just let it have its way. It's not about reacting to it again, but it's just about letting it be there. That's how we work. Well, the first way we work with grief is letting it be there, of course, and then you move into the practices of asking for support, right? And so ask for support. Ask for support. Ask You don't even have to know who you're asking. Just put it out there. I just need support. Right? This is a prayer, right? I need support. All the beings who love me, please support me. Please help me carry this. Yeah. But then we continue moving on. It's not like we're trying to replace relationships, but we allow ourselves to let go of something. You know. I think that with this next book, I have a whole section. I call them sections. I don't know what they're going to be yet. But a chapter. I don't know if it's going to be chapters or not. Who knows? But there's going to be. I have this like narrative. I would say this non-linear narrative. A lot of the book is non-linear narrative. Very different. Closer to radical dharma, I think, in storytelling than Lemon Rage. But this kind of narrative that I've put together really around actually both these questions, craving and mourning relationships. Like, how do I move through that? How have I moved through that? I think that'll be really beneficial. But yeah, it just essentially is everything I've just been sharing about how to work with it. It's just like acknowledging and letting go, right? Moving on, like connecting to other sources of joy, connecting to other relationships where I feel like I'm being tended to, right? It's easy to get lost in just like how things used to be, right? I've had relationships with people, or experiences rather, it's more appropriate just to say I've had these moments in the past that have been really amazing, really sweet, and I have found myself trying to get back to a moment. I can't get back to that moment because that moment has passed, right? That moment with that one person, where everything seemed to kind of come together, and and you have that experience of being taken care of, and everything that you need is being offered, right? And then it passes, and then you have to let it go, and you mourn it. You allow it to pass through mourning. You mourning it, right? You're acknowledging the sadness there, the loss, and you're letting that grief be there. Over and over and over and over and over again. Over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. That's what's called practice. I'm not attempting to get rid of anything. I am practicing to awaken the space, to hold everything. All I'm interested in is space. Like, I just need the space to hold everything. For me, that's emotional wellness, emotional maturity. We're always going to be mourning. Right? Well, I've achieved a almost rare thing. It's only 6 minutes past the end time. So with that, um, I will let everyone go and say goodbye. And again, if you're interested in practice leading, please email Eric. The email's at the top of the chat. box. You have to scroll up. And stay on the lookout. I'm sure I have something happening this week that you can join, but I don't remember on purpose. Check the websites. Thank you all so much um, for your practice, and keep practicing. Always keep practicing. Um, all right. All right. Be well, everyone. Thank you.